Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Wendy and I am with a ministry called Inspire Ministries, and I am so glad that you are here today. Today we are going to be diving in and talking about a subject matter that I feel like is very important for us to get and to wrestle with. This idea of what it looks like for us as believers to want other people to win. How it is that we are supposed to behave when we see other people succeed, when we see them getting ahead in life, when we see them advancing in life. Today I want to talk about three specific areas as it relates to anticipating the success of other people, appreciating the success of other people, and then being able to celebrate the success of other people. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone and right away you can sense this negativity in their tone because they simply seem unhappy at the success of other people? I was in one of those conversations recently where I could really feel the weight in the room. The conversation was going south quickly as we talked about this other person who wasn't with us, who wasn't in the room with us. We were talking about their specific personal success, and it really became apparent in talking about it that there were some people in the room who just were not genuinely happy at the success of this other person who happened to be another Christian friend. And so I want to talk today about what it looks like, or what it is that we should feel as it relates to other people succeeding, other people winning. You know, I was on YouTube earlier and I jumped on a video, and it had in this video two individuals, and it's a conversation that didn't last very long between these two individuals, but it had such great lasting impact, and I believe that it isn't something that I'm going to forget anytime soon. I was listening to a conversation between two very successful men. Each are successful in their own right, and both of them are in a highly competitive field. They have both been in their field for about 10 years, and they were talking about the other having great success. And the one individual said to the other, he said, "I am inspired to see you do so well." I love this. Isn't this terrific? He said, "I am inspired to see you do so well." Can you even imagine if we took that same attitude in our life, in our everyday life, and if we began to look for, to not only just look for and to anticipate the success of other people, but to celebrate that with them and to actually applaud them in it and to actually feel as though we can gain inspiration from their success. Romans 12, verses 15 through 16 say this: "Be happy with those who are happy, and weep with those who weep." Now that's verse 15, and I want to stop right here, and I want to say this. I think it's why others may have a problem understanding or feeling the sincerity from someone when they hurt, because they haven't yet learned the position of being authentically happy for them at the time they were experiencing happiness. I've had people in my own life who say, "I just want to love on them and they won't let me. I want to be there for them, but they just won't let me." Well, I want to say that it could be that you weren't there for them in their celebratory times. And so it's really not easy for them to trust you in the times where they really need somebody and they really need you to feel for them in their time of loneliness or sickness or whatever it is. Going on to Romans verse 16, it says, "Living in harmony with each other. Don't be too proud to enjoy the company of ordinary people, and don't think you know it all." That's the follow-up to Romans 12, 15, and 16. And then look at Romans 15, verse 2. It says, "Each of us should please our neighbors for their good, to build them up." I love this. Our life as a Christian, our life for a believer is for the edification of other people, for building people up, for introducing them to Jesus by the way that we love them and the way that we live our lives. Paul says this best in Philippians 2, verses 3 through 4. He says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself, not looking to your own interests, but the interests of other people." I love this. What would the world look like if we desired for them to win? What if we took on that same behavior as Paul did when he says, "I have been praying for you. I think nonstop about you. I have come for the edification of all of the believers everywhere." How would it look like? How would our world change if we took on that posture as a Christian, as a believer in Christ? What would it say about the God we serve if we adapted this position of wanting desperately for other people to succeed? 1 Corinthians 10:24 in the New King James Version says this, "Let no one seek his own, but each one the other's well-being." In other words, I am not here to please myself. I am not here to serve myself. I am here to serve you. I am here to love on you. You know, the other day I had some guests in my home, and it was Sunday morning. I had made brunch, and then after I had spent about 2 hours in the kitchen, I was a little tired, and so I asked them to come and get their plate of food, and I excused myself to the dinner table. I sat down and I just played on my phone for a few minutes while they got their food. And one of the individuals at my home said, "What, are you not eating?" No, I was just waiting for my guests to be served first. That is the way that we as believers ought to live our lives every day, as in other people come first. That may mean letting someone else in traffic in as you're going to work in the morning. It might mean just buying a cup of coffee for someone. It might mean just being a listening ear for someone, calling someone, texting someone just to ask how they're doing, not expecting anything in return, but just doing it because not only do we love others, but we love Jesus and we radically desire to show him to the world around us. You have no idea, we have no idea how much damage we're doing, not only to the reputation of the other person not defending themselves, but you're damaging your own reputation or compromising your own character by refusing to allow others to see the Jesus that you claim to follow. In other words, when we speak badly about other people succeeding, when we have a conversation with someone and we're gossiping about them and we're saying, "Can you believe this great vacation that they just took?" Or "Can you believe how much money they make?" Or "Do you believe what their house looks like?" Or "How can they possibly drive that nice of a car?" When we are doing that, we are not only damaging our own reputation, but we're damaging and compromising the reputation of the Jesus that we claim to serve. Titus 1:16 says, "Such people claim to know God, but they deny him by the way that they live. They are detestable and disobedient, worthless for doing anything good." Listen, I don't want to be in that same classification of people. I want to live my life so that others can see Jesus. I want to live my life to glorify the one that I claim to live and breathe for. Some things happen when I hear others bashing other people because they're advancing or because they received a blessing or because they are in a position that others would like to be in. I can consider three things. The first thing is they might not know Jesus for themselves. Number two, they might know him, but they don't acknowledge him by following him. Or three, they may know him, they may even acknowledge him, but they do not understand the commands of Jesus. It is never my wish to think evil of these people who talk badly about other people or don't appreciate when they are advancing in one way, shape, or form. It's like my best friend and I, we have this conversation all of the time. And our one tagline I feel that we say often is, "They just might not know." Or as my best friend would say, "Do they even know?" You know, Paul tells us in Romans 12:2 that we are not to conform to the patterns of this world, but to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. It is a new way of thinking. Even with these videos, it is always my hope and my passion and my desire is to bring you a new way of thinking. I was telling my husband the other day, I have finally discovered what it is that I'm doing with these videos, and that is bringing a fresh perspective that is causing all of us together to look at the world differently and to consider a different way of living. I love this, being transformed by the renewing of our minds, to think from a different perspective, to consider a heavenly point of view. And when we live like this, refusing to see others succeed, refusing to honor their position in life, refusing to celebrate their success or their advancement or their victory, we are only confirming the mind of that particular individual who has not yet experienced a transformation in their mind. So what are some practical things? What are some practical ways that we can begin cheering others on for developing a heart for other people who are succeeding, to succeed with them, to offer our celebration with them as they succeed? And I want to just tell you 3 simple things that we can begin to do today. The first thing is pray. Pray for God to give you a heart for other people. Pray that He would help you to serve other people, to benefit the needs of other people. Pray for Him to remove any barriers of resentment in your heart or bitterness in your heart, to purge that completely out of you, to transform your mind, to not be conformed to the world, but to be transformed by the renewing of His Word and His life living inside of us. The second thing I would say is prune. I think about plants, right? I think of my gardens that I have and how often I have to weed those gardens, how frequently I have to go out and I have to trim away all of the weeds and all of the things that are causing those plants to die. Pruning takes a lot of work. Listen, I have a lot of plants in my garden, and it takes diligence and patience every single day to go out and grab those weeds and cut them back before they do irreparable damage to the actual plant. But it's necessary. It's necessary to the growth, and it's necessary to the production. So maybe it's time that we prune back our speech. Maybe it's time that we cut back or reduce our words. Sometimes I just think that it's time for me to quit talking altogether, because what is that saying that we learned as a kid? If we don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. That's exactly what I feel like I need to do. Sometimes I just need to prune back my speech, lest I say anything that will not only damage my reputation, but damage the reputation of Jesus Christ. And then the third thing is proclaim before perception. Proclaim before perception. What do I mean? Is give compliments before the feeling hits you. Listen, you cannot always wait around for those feelings to hit in order to go ahead and proclaim what it is that He wants you to proclaim, or to give that compliment that we are to give. It is a habit that we have to cultivate in our life. Send the note. Congratulate someone. Tell someone how proud you are at seeing them succeed. Recognize the hard work that someone is putting in a project, maybe at work, or maybe it's in the same field that you are in. Congratulate them for their success. When you see them advance, do yourself a huge favor and congratulate them. And do it before the feeling comes to do it. Proclaim before perception. That means make the declaration, proclaim the thing. Take control of your feelings before your feelings take control of you. So those are just a few practical things that I feel like we can start to do today to transform our minds into feeling authentically for the success of other people. Pray, prune, and proclaim before perception. Listen, friends, I am praying for you today because I know this is very, very difficult, but I also know it is the way that we purify our lives. It's the way that we get right before the Lord, is by authentically feeling love and joy and being able to celebrate when others succeed. It is really authentically wanting others to win. Listen, I know it's difficult. I do. I know it's difficult, especially when you have wanted something yourself and someone else gets it. But there's nothing that we do more than this to glorify our God when it doesn't feel good, when someone else is succeeding and we are feeling that jealousy arise from within us, or we're feeling that tendency to be bitter towards them. We need to stop it. Stop it at the door of action. And so, friend, I am praying for you today, as well as I am praying for myself, that we would get this in our spirit, that we would have a sincere, authentic desire to see others succeed. Because bottom line is, we want other people to feel joy when we succeed. We want other people to celebrate in our success. And if we want that for ourselves, we have to be willing to understand what it means, at least, to compliment other people, to succeed with other people, and to celebrate when they are advancing and succeeding in their life. Friend, again, I am praying for you. I pray that you love this video. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up. Would you share it with somebody that you know and love? Hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. And if you want to be a part of this family, hit that subscribe button down below. It helps me out more than you know. I would love to hear from you. Comment down below. How are you doing today? I sincerely want to know. If you have a prayer request, reach out to me. I would love to pray for you and with you. It is my heart to continue to bring messages just like this to you every single week. I upload videos on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. Do not miss out. Thanks for being here today, friends, and I will see you in my next video. Have an awesome day with Jesus. Bye, friends.